Hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. My glasses are dirty. I don't know how glasses get so dirty. It's like, are there like glasses fairies that just come rub their butt cheeks on your glasses? I think so. Because I know I don't get them this dirty. Hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. Welcome. If you have questions about generative AI in general, that's why I'm here, is to kind of demystify AI. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I appreciate that you appreciate it because, sometimes what it feels like is I'm sitting in an office talking to a phone. Because I'm sitting in an office talking to a phone. But yeah, if you have questions about AI, just pop them in the chat. I do appreciate the kind words. Let's see. I played with some, what do you call it? I played with the new beta version of. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not talking to myself. I played with the beta version of Photoshop that's got this new generative fill thing in it, and it's pretty remarkable. I don't have anything on this computer, but I wonder if did I email it to someone? Oh, no, I posted it on LinkedIn. Let me show you. Denver. I gave a speech at Creative Mornings last month, and they just put together this really nicely edited video of me talking about comparing the birth of the World Wide Web with the birth of ChatGPT and putting those things together. So if you go to LinkedIn, Dave Momper is the guy that's the host of the Denver group, and if you look him up or just look up Creative Mornings Denver, you'll probably see a video in there. That's me giving a speech about a month ago on this stuff. But anyway, check out this cool thing. So the little image on the left is the original Genesis image from Kyle Shannon Dreams, my art project. And then the image on the right with like all of that expansive stuff, that was all generated using Photoshop generative AI. So you basically put a big border around the small image and you just start describing what you want in the background. So I put like, dystopian smokestack and, dystopian city, and I put a thing for the little ID tag on his chest and things like that. So played with that today. That was pretty cool. So what struck me about the generative AI being so seamlessly incorporated into Photoshop is that these tools are literally going to be everywhere. Yeah, isn't that cool, Emilio's? They're just going to become ubiquitous. Like right now, it feels like ChatGPT is this thing off to the side, and that's all anyone's talking about. And in fact, that's the URL for ChatGPT. If you're new to generative AI and you haven't played with ChatGPT, what I've been talking about lately is just go there. I don't get paid. This is just the official ChatGPT site. Futurepedia.io below it is just a list of a bunch of different AI tools. That'll make your head explode. But ChatGPT, just go start playing with it if you haven't. I know Emilio's wife. I didn't say the wife before. So anyway, I do appreciate you being here. And but anyway, the thing that struck me today is just how ubiquitous this stuff's going to be. So any work that you do right now, getting curious, educating yourself, figuring out how to make an image or figuring out how to do something with ChatGPT is it's going to pay dividends because everyone's going to have to figure this stuff out because it's just going to be everywhere. So if you have questions about generative AI, pop them in there. I have set a goal of 13 subscribers. I have 4, so subscribe to my lives. Why would you not? I don't know how you subscribe to my lives, but I'm sure somewhere there's a button that says subscribe to the lives, or you can follow me. I posted the latest video in my TikTok recorded channels. I showed you how I made that image there, using the generative tool in Photoshop. So that's pretty cool. So go look at that. And as I find questions here, I will do my best to answer them. All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Feel free to share the live. If you think what I do here is cool and exciting, feel free to share this so other people can discover it. And let's see. I'm about to be free to deep dive in this in about a month. Do it. Jump in. do it on weekends. Actually, one of the big moments I had with ChatGPT, I was sitting watching TV and I was just kind of absent-mindedly playing with ChatGPT, and whatever the TV show was boring the crap out of me, and I said, "Oh, write me some code," and then I said, "Oh, make it do this. Oh, teach me how to use this." Like, I didn't know how to run the code. Within 90 minutes, I'd written a significant Python application. So even just in your spare time, Emilio's wife, start playing with it. But then, if you can dive deep. Vegas Magic Guy, you need help. I need help too. We all need help. But put in a specific question. I'll do what I can. If I can't help you, I will tell you that too. I try not to mansplain stuff like ChatGPT does. My shirt is almost impossible to read this text against, so I'll probably be doing this so I can read it. How can ChatGPT make me money online? I don't want to be a grunt working for a boss. I think that, I would lose the goal of making money with ChatGPT. Do not be seduced by any of the videos that are like, you can make money with ChatGPT. Don't listen to those people. They're charlatans and they're full of shit. They're probably trying to sell you a course on a product that's only existed for 5 or 6 months, right? So there are no experts in this right now. This is all this is new to everyone, and things are changing incredibly fast. That said, what I would say is this. I would say either take what you're passionate about or take what you're good at and start leaning into ChatGPT to be think of it like a collaborative partner with you to do that stuff. So if you have an idea to start a local business, have it teach you how to start a local business, how to market it, how to run it, how to think about your customers, all that sort of stuff. If you have a dream of being a writer, have it teach you to write, have it, collaborate with it to help you create an outline. I would say just start using it. The trick to making money with any technology, and really with anything, is the tech is irrelevant. So ChatGPT is irrelevant in terms of your ability to make money. What is relevant is, are you solving a problem that someone else or some group of people want solved bad enough that they're willing to pay you for it? And if you do that, then you make money. The nice thing about ChatGPT is you can experiment very, very quickly. And you can try 10 different things. And so here's I put out a thing, somewhere buried in my TikTok channels is this video called the 2023 Smart Challenge. And so for this is I think your name is Hi, that's wanting to not be a grunt working for a boss and wants to know how to make money. So here's the 2023 Smart Challenge. There's 3 things in the challenge. The first one is do 2 projects using ChatGPT. So one is for you personally and one is for someone else. So the one for you personally might be make a meal plan, create a fitness plan, write a song, write a poem, whatever it might be. Do something for yourself personally, but think of something that you want to do, that you've been thinking about, that you want to do, and use ChatGPT as your partner to do that. The second thing is do a project for someone else. So it might be a community group, it might be your family, it might even be work, where maybe work needs a marketing plan. Maybe the boss doesn't know how to have a difficult conversation, and you could help them and say, hey, listen, I'm experimenting with this ChatGPT thing. Can I take a shot at helping you out here? Sure, why not? Like, what's it going to hurt them, right? And in doing that, in having a specific focus, you'll actually get really good at it. So that's leg 1 of this 3-step challenge. Leg 2 is make 10 images using an image generation piece of software. And the easiest, cheapest, freest one is bing.com/create. So if I go here and I'll jump over to bing.com/create. I think this is still right. Yep. So this is the dollar. And why do I say that? Well, you might make these 10 images for your project. So maybe your project is a kid's book, and you're going to use these images to put into the kid's book. So they might be related, but they might not. But I think everyone should experience the absolute magic of typing in some words of something you kind of have in your head, and then having it materialize in front of your eyes. It's truly magical. So that's the second leg of the 2023 challenge. And the third leg of the stool is tell people what you're learning. Talk about it. Tell them what you learned. Tell them what's frustrating. Tell them what was inspiring. And if they ask about it, show them how to do it. And that's the 2023 Smart Challenge. So the trick to making money with ChatGPT is start playing with it, start using it, and then the how you make money part is you figure out a problem that you can solve that people are willing to pay for. Start with the problem. Start with the thing you can solve. Start with the thing you're passionate about. There's got to be a better way. Do that thing, right? So I hope that helps. Let's see. Prediction. Phone scammers will use AI to mimic family members' voice asking for money. That's already happening. It's a disaster, and it's going to get worse. In the end game, get rid of ChatGPT is the end game to get rid of ChatGPT/AI once it's fully integrated. Well, I don't know that there's an end game because you've got OpenAI paired with Microsoft. So Microsoft's end game is roll it into everything. They announced yesterday that ChatGPT, they're calling it Copilot, is going to be integrated into Windows itself. I'll play a video of it. In fact, let's go do that now. Windows is it a dash? Pilot. See if we can find the continue reading. If they make me okay, is this it? No, this is a longer thing. Okay, here's where they're talking about it. Okay.
Right into the most valuable product, Windows. It started with an AI assistant built into Microsoft Edge and Bing, and now Copilot will be built right into your Windows taskbar. Just like Bing, you will be able to ask Copilot to summarize anything on the screen, rewrite existing text, and explain anything you see on the screen. It will also be possible to adjust computer settings using Copilot. The feature starts rolling out next month. Next up, Microsoft is adding plugin support for its Microsoft.
All right, so that's it. There's other videos out there that's sort of more of a comprehensive thing where they're talking about other stuff, but they're rolling GPT into Windows itself. So it's going to be everywhere throughout Microsoft stack. But you've also got Google that wants to incorporate Bard. You've got Anthropic that's got their own model that I don't think they've found a big partner yet. We haven't heard anything yet from Apple, but Apple's coming. You know Apple's coming. They've got a big announcement in 2 weeks at their Worldwide Developer Conference they have every year. And they're going to be announcing their AR, VR goggles, which I think are a big yawn, although they'll be better than Meta's.
We're bringing the Copilot to the biggest canvas of all, Windows.
Sorry, my machine just acted on its own and decided to start talking. So you've got Apple there. AWS announced that developers are going to be able to use a bunch of different models, including theirs. So you've got all these major players with their own large language models. So I think they all want to compete, and they want their model to be used the most. So I think you're going to see lots and lots of models. So that's just the commercial side. Then you've got the whole open source side. So, and I forgot Meta. Meta's another one that they're rolling out a bunch of their technologies. All of these companies right now have been forced out of the shadows because of ChatGPT. Meta's large language model leaked, and now the developer community has adopted it, and there are open source large language models all over the place out there. So the end game kind of implies that there's a single company that's going to control this. And I think in the past 3 months, what's happened is many horses are out of many barns. And so I don't think that there's any single place that's going to kind of try to wrest control. So I think it's just going to be everywhere. It's going to be really confusing for the next 2 years. I think there's just going to be, 8,000 products a day. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. So just sort of, focus on sort of the core, most simple tools like ChatGPT right now. If there's a better one, I'll start talking about that. By the way, that's the URL for ChatGPT. If you haven't played with it, go play with it. And then Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, or DALL-E using Bing. Just start playing. So let's see. TikTok auto scrolls me to the bottom sometimes, and I lose my place. It makes me sad. It makes me so sad. Okay, is the end game. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. Very cool. I also see AI and ChatGPT as horizontal, key API that will be a part of all software. Yeah, I think that's right. In fact, there's a really cool, I saw a concept about a week ago where they basically said that the ultimate end game of ChatGPT is to be the everything app, which is basically, it's an app that you tell it what you want it to do, and it will just go find a plugin that does that, or a series of them, or it will write its own code, or it will just do what you want it to do. And we will all have this personal app that does everything. So there won't be the app store. You won't have to go to websites. The transformation is potentially quite profound. So I agree. I think the horizontal thing's really interesting. Yeah, and I don't even know where you play, do you specialize in particular verticals? Do you go horizontal? I mean, in the end, these are just tools. They just happen to be tools that are so incredibly fucking powerful that they kind of change everything. How does a magician grow? By eating spinach. I think that's what ChatGPT would tell us too. You can create a lot of things, but can you deliver on it? I don't know. Are you asking me specifically? I've built some shit. I'm 11 years into my company Storyvine, and I'm completely re-architecting that with AI, so I hope I can fucking build it. I'm an artist, but since AI image gen came out, I've lost all the motivation to make art. So I totally empathize with you. I feel really bad. I feel bad for writers that are feeling like this. I feel bad particularly for artists, because I do not have a skill at art. I'm an okay designer, not a great one, but I am an atrocious illustrator. And all of a sudden, having a tool that just instantly does the work that might take you a week or a month to do, and having people that don't have a creative bone in their body now going, I'm an artist, has got to be fucking maddening. That said, here's my theory on it. The people doing the most interesting work in AI right now that I see that are part of the AI salon. So I started an AI salon in December. That's a community of people that kind of hang out and geek out on AI. We've got a Discord server where we can chat. I've got a lot of artists in there. I've got a lot of copywriters in there. My co-host of the salon is a 25-year photographer, and she, she's gone through a couple of phases, but the initial phase was like, well, I went through the shift from film to digital, so this isn't going to be that different. So she kind of went in with this cool attitude, and then she figured out how to replicate her style, and she started doing cool stuff, and then replicating her style became trivially easy. And she got really bummed out because she's like, now anyone could basically just take any one of my pictures and replicate the style. And it bummed her out. And so, I think she's in a discovery process of, what are these tools in her creative process? What are they in her life? So what I would encourage you to do is absolutely mourn what's going on. Maybe the art stuff becomes something you do for pleasure. I do think that authentic art, that physical art, authentic in-person music, that kind of stuff. I think the value of that's going to go up in this sort of content everywhere world. But you're going to be better at using these tools than non-artists. You've got an eye to be able to take some thought in your brain and bring that into the world and bring it to life. And so if you learn these tools, I think you're going to be better at them than non-artists. So I would encourage you to start exploring, start getting curious. But yeah, it sucks, man. I'm very sorry. It's a bummer. It's like bummer's too trivial. This is profound shit. And quite honestly, I think we're all going to be facing some sort of crisis like this. I am in my business. Like, I'm 11 years into my business, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, a lot of what we do right now is going to look. It's just going to be valueless. Like, it has value today. It's not going to have value in a year, and I've got to figure out what in my business has value, what doesn't, what's going to go away. So it's rough. That helps a lot. You're welcome. Slightly concerned about using it. You don't need to be concerned about using it. If you're really concerned, so in ChatGPT, let me jump over here and show you. The bottom setting here is called data controls. And you can turn off your chat history and training, which basically means they're not going to use anything that you put in it for training. If you do that and you have a long chat history, it will delete your chat history. So make sure that you export your data first so that you get your chat history to get, maintain all your prompts. But I wouldn't be too concerned. Just start using ChatGPT to learn what it's about. Don't do critical stuff on it right now. Just learn it. Walked into a Best Buy the other day, and it's on all the new TVs. What is ChatGPT or like Bing? That's interesting. Will ChatGPT intelligence be integrated into Androids, and will that be available to cook for you? So go to that URL. So on Android, go to your Chrome browser. Go to that URL. That's the official ChatGPT site. And then bookmark it, like put an icon on your screen that points to that website, so it works like an app. The site's very, very simple, and it works great on mobile. So yeah, and then I think Androids will use it as their core intelligence. Well, Androids are going to use Bard as their core intelligence, which is the competitor to ChatGPT. In my opinion, it doesn't hold a candle to it yet. Bard is better at some of the more technical stuff, programming and math and things like that. But ChatGPT 4 especially is just a more sophisticated language engine. So if you're doing language kind of stuff, do that, ChatGPT 4. You can wait for Bard for the other stuff. Okay. For the first time, design trends will be led by non-artists. Get ready for the end of innovative design. I 1000% disagree. I think that for the first time, the power of powerful design has been democratized. So there will be non-designers that do amazing work and get it out there. But creative professionals are going to kick ass at using these tools. And if you diminish it or dismiss it, you're going to get left behind. And I hate to say that. I think it is the absolute opposite of what you're predicting here. I think it is the beginning of the greatest renaissance we've ever seen. I think we are entering a creative age that's going to make the Renaissance look quaint. In fact, the last slide, I just gave a talk today. Let's see, do I have it up here? No, of course not. Where is it? ModSim talk. I gave a talk to people, simulation people, on Monday. And my last slide is this, the Great Renaissance. I think we are entering a great renaissance. Because, so here's my thinking. if you're a creative and you use these tools, one of the things you experience quickly is that you have more ideas than you've ever had, because these tools allow you to very, very quickly iterate ideas. And then the tools, if you just slightly push them one direction or the other, give you all sorts of things you wouldn't have thought about. And then that pushes you in new directions and new directions. I think we're going to see an explosion of design in architecture, in fashion, in graphic design, in typography, in writing. I think in music, I think we're going to see just a massive explosion of creativity. So you may be right that because these tools are creative, all the creatives are just going to go take a nap. But here's the deal. We're fucking humans. We're not just going to sit around waiting to do nothing. We'll figure it out. So anyway, do you know anything about ChatGPT app that is offered through Apple? Is it the same as chat.openai? Okay, so that's the website. So if you're on Apple, on a mobile device or an iPad, that's the website. But OpenAI launched an official app. What I would do if I were you is don't worry about going to the App Store. Go to openai.com/blog. App for iOS, this second article right here with the crazy sort of thing. Right there is a link to the App Store. Go to that. That's the official link to the App Store, to the official ChatGPT app. The good thing about the app is that it's got whisper transcription built into it. It is an incredibly good transcriber, like way better than Apple's transcription. It does not have plugins. It is not connected to the web. So if you're a ChatGPT Plus user, you can get access to it being connected to the web and to plugins, but that only happens through the website itself, not through the app. But that's the official app. That's how I'd get to it. ChatGPT must be a dream. Wait. Oops. Hang on. Must be a dream to designers, LOL, to be able to bring your design to life so quickly. Well, ChatGPT doesn't bring designs to life, but things like Stable Diffusion and Midjourney do. ChatGPT can help you create creative briefs and copy and all sorts of things that might go in your designs. I think so too. People are still going to want authentic art. Yeah, exactly. There will always be a market. Yep. In 1860 something, there was a French painter named Paul Delaroche who, upon seeing the first photograph, a daguerreotype, is famous for saying, "Today painting is dead," or "From today painting is dead." Painting didn't die, but photography emerged, right? So it's a new tool. So that's what we're in the middle of. Hey, everybody, if you're new here, this is the AI Learning Lab. We talk about AI stuff here. Well, I talk about AI stuff. You can ask questions. I will do my best to answer them. And I'll show you what I can when I can. I've got this slick feel free to subscribe. I have 4 subscribers. My goal is 13. So subscribe to my lives. And when I go live, you'll get a little notification. And you'll be like, oh, I don't want to go watch him. All he does is talk. All right. One of my hobbies here is putting myself down. So, and talking about my hair. Good Lord, what the hell is going on with that? Looks like some sort of surf competition gone wrong. All right. Is ChatGPT edited? Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Can you tell me how to teach adult beginners how to use ChatGPT? Sure. I would say if there's a common theme, so if you're part of a community group, for example, what the hell did I do to my hair? I made it worse. Wow, that's special. I'll leave it like that just so that people that come in just get here and go, what the hell is going on with his hair? His toupee's falling off. So one thing that you can do is you can just start simply... like a good way to get people to kind of get that ChatGPT is something different. You can ask people to, like, I don't know, like, give you a topic and then you can just do crazy shit with it. So let's say they give you the topic, playing cards. Okay, great, playing cards. So you say, write an M&M rap about playing cards, right? Just something stupid like that. And then it'll write a song for you with verses and choruses and rhymes, and it does it really quick. And people just be like, wow. But then you can start riffing on it. You can say, make it a haiku. And then it should give us a little, 3-line, whatever that is, 17-syllable haiku. And now I can say, how about a Python program that shuffles 52 cards? Let's see what it does. Certainly. Here's a simple Python program that shuffles a deck of 52 cards. So I think one of the things you can do initially is you can just, interact with people and let them experience what it's like to just see what this thing is and what's possible. Like, I'm trying to think what else. Big concepts, explain why the sky is blue for a 7-year-old. Let's see what this comes up with. Hey there, little buddy. Let me try to explain something to you. So have you ever noticed that the sky looks really bright and blue during the day? Well, that's because of something called scattering. You see, the sunlight contains all sorts of parts. So just show them that it kind of knows everything. It can kind of do everything. And then what I would say is start problem solving with them. So have them give you things that they want to do in their life. Well, I'm trying to get a job. Okay, let's write a resume. Or I'm trying to, I've got an idea for the Great American Screenplay or Great American Novel. Okay, great. Let's go have it synopsize 3 different screenwriting books and come up with a story framework for us. And then we'll take that story framework and turn that into an outline. And then you can change the outline and, start problem solving with them, because that's the big epiphany for me with ChatGPT is that it's not a Google search. With a Google search, you're like, I want to find this thing. You search for it and it gives you 40 crappy links, 39 of which were paid for. And then, somewhere buried in there is a thing, right? That's Google's business model. But this is not that. It's not just ask it a question and get crap back. It's more like you're having this back and forth collaborative conversation with it. And so I would say just start doing that interactively with them and get them excited about it. Are you aware of any AI tools that could read procedure documents and assess how compliant they are? Yeah, so these tools are really good at that stuff. Depending how long it is, you can just do that in ChatGPT, but it's got a 4,000 token limit, which is basically 3,000 words. There is a new model out that Anthropic, who's a competitor to OpenAI, put out, and it's actually available to you at poe.com, Poe.com. With their paid subscription, which I think is $20 a month, there's this thing called Claude Instant 100K. And what that means is it's got 100,000 token context window. So basically it means this. 100,000 tokens equals 75,000 words. You can copy and paste 75,000 words into the chatbot and start interacting with it. Ask it to summarize it for you. Ask it for salient points. Ask it for case law at sites, whatever it might be. So yes, you can do that if you've got a series of documents, or if they're longer than 75,000 words, if they're really long. Then you would probably need to use something like LangChain. LangChain is going to require a little bit of geekiness to figure out, but here's the secret. You can have ChatGPT help you figure out how to install that shit. But basically what you do there is you kind of point LangChain at directories of documents. It embeds them, basically just makes them GPT friendly. And then it throws them in what's called an embedding database. Famous one's called Pinecone. And so basically a fancy mathematical version of your documents goes into Pinecone, and then you can search across multiple documents. So I hope that helps. That will, the 100,000K Claude instant is pretty remarkable. I pasted in a transcript from one of our AI salons, which are 2 hours long. So the transcripts are like 55, 56 pages. And I just pasted a 56-page document into the 100,000K thing, asked it to summarize the meeting, and it did. It's pretty remarkable. It's just, this stuff it continues to blow my mind. Can we contact you by email or via? Yes, you can. In my bio, in my link tree, I put a link to my email in there, so you can. It's my work email. So feel free to do that. Or you can DM me here as well. If you follow me, I think you can DM me. I don't know how this shit works. I'm new to TikTok. I'm on Elder Talk. We're not good with this shit. So if some of you young whippersnappers are in here could teach me how to do some things, that'd be swell. But get off my fucking lawn. I'm Gen X, by the way, born in 1965, so I don't know who else out there is bitter and angry at life like all of us are, but fuck them. Sorry, I lost my thing. I'm an artist and yeah, okay, saw that one. Oh, no. See, now I'm lost again. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my place. Am I aware? Okay, I'm back to the compliance tool. Can we contact you by email or via a website? My company website is storyvine.com. Yeah, just drop me an email. Would like to find out how to book me as a speaker. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that. I just got back from Norfolk, Virginia, where I talked to a bunch of military folks about this stuff. And if you go to LinkedIn, I'm also on LinkedIn, Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn and search for, from that small image to that big image today, that was pretty cool. Focus. Come on. Focus. God damn this thing. Anyway, if you go to LinkedIn and search for, search for Creative Mornings Denver posts. Let's see. There's a guy named Dave Momper. So everyone is creative. Let's see. There's a video of me doing a speaking gig. So creative, yeah. Let's see. My speech was called From Here to There, and there's a video of it. I think here. Yeah.
Welcome to our stage, Mr. Kyle Shannon, to tell us everything we need to know about.
So anyway, that's a nice thing. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Happy to talk. What are your thoughts on Perplexity AI? I've heard a lot about it. I meant to check it out 2 days ago, and then my flight got delayed. I've been too busy to check it out. But from what I can tell, it looks pretty good. I don't quite know what it is. I don't know if it's built on top of OpenAI's ChatGPT or if it's its own thing, but from what I can gather, they seem to be doing it quite right. So I think it's worth checking out. There's just so many tools right now. The reason I have that futurepedia.io is it's a list of all sorts of tools. There's just thousands of them now. So I'm trying to keep things limited, but Perplexity is one that I definitely want to check out. I'm an RN with a stay-at-home dad. Any ideas on a side hustle with ChatGPT? I think there's a lot of them. I think as an RN, you should definitely start exploring. exploring how it can help you do what you do in nursing or counseling or things like that. Like, it's incredibly capable. So it might help you do some of the administrative work that you do faster. It might help you come up with ideas for how to interact with patients. My thought on, here's the deal. ChatGPT in and of itself is kind of valueless as it's just a tool. So a side hustle, any sort of business, is you find a problem that someone has that you can solve, and if you solve it well enough, they will pay you for that, right? So that's sort of the core of business, is start with the problem. So I'd say start with what you know, start with what you're passionate about, especially if it involves words or images or, sort of any variation of those. Like, I've always wanted to, I don't know, help people write their life memoir or whatever it might be. That's something ChatGPT could absolutely help you, accelerate for people, and you could teach them how to use ChatGPT. So maybe just get up to speed on it, use it for your work, see how it can augment your work and amplify what you do professionally now. And then as you get your head around this thing, start teaching people how to use it. Maybe do a class for free. And then do one for $50, and then maybe do one for $150, and see if you can build a reputation as someone who can help people get up to speed. Because here's the thing: ChatGPT went from 0 to 100 million users in 6 weeks. The World Wide Web, when it was invented way back in the 90s, it took 6 years to get to 100 million users. ChatGPT, it happened in 6 weeks. So this stuff is coming really fast. But a lot of people, like the speaking gig that I showed the video of, there were people in that audience that hadn't heard of ChatGPT yet, which blows my mind. But there's people who haven't even heard of this shit. They don't know what's coming. So I think there's a big market out there for people that are going to be trying to get their heads around this. So, do you think they need a vocabulary lesson at all? Do I think who needs a vocabulary lesson? I don't know. I don't know what that's in reference to. I say that about non-artists because of what happened in the 90s when coders also designed. Yeah. Coders getting access to Photoshop in the 90s. I started one of the first digital agencies in 94, a company called agency.com. So we went through that where we had to at some point say, yeah, you coders, we know you love Photoshop. We know you think you're good at it, but we're going to go on ahead and make some job responsibilities here where the people that are good with pitches are going to do the pitches, and the people that are good with code are going to do the code. I absolutely think that's coming as well. The difference here is that with Photoshop, you still needed design and visual skill. With generative image stuff, it's actually interesting. There's a guy in the AI salon. So I started this AI salon. It's a community of people, we sort of geek out with AI. This guy named Roger that's part of the group, he's been there from the beginning. He's a coder. And he started geeking out on prompt engineering Midjourney, and he's generating some of the coolest fucking art in there. But he came at it from a complete coding mindset. And so he's experimenting it in this really procedural way. And he'll just keep whacking at it like a coder would, because he's a coder. And then he creates these amazing images. So I think there's a slight difference here. I think, creative professionals who have, creative director types who have already curated lots of work, I think they're going to be brilliant at this shit, just, being like a conductor. But yeah, it's going to be a mess for a while. If making the UI and overall design of a site can be done with AI, companies won't hire designers, or they'll hire designers that are good at using AI. Paul Reitzer, if you don't know Paul Reitzer, he's the founder of the AI Marketing Institute, or the Marketing AI Institute. I forget which order those two words are in. But he has this saying that AI won't take your job, but someone using AI will. And so yeah, I think start learning this shit. Don't just diminish it or poo-poo it. First thing I did was haiku. What's going on here? I know. Well, it's like because part of the exploration here is trying to get your head around what this thing actually knows. And what you find out is it fucking knows everything. Like, it knows a lot. How does it know a lot? They trained it on a lot. One of the reasons ChatGPT is better than Bard is that because Google invented the core technology, the transformer that sits underneath GPT. Google invented that shit. But what OpenAI did was they realized that the better the data was that you trained these models on, the better they got. So they spent years finding data sets and data sources, and they basically trained the GPT models on all of the internet, all the public internet, Wikipedia, blogs, websites, just everything they could find, databases, anything they could get access to. So it's been trained incredibly deeply. And then they followed that up with training it on all the coding languages, right? So it knows, 60 or 80 or some god-awful amount of coding languages. So it writes code really well. They also found out when they taught it to code, the English language or the language part of it got dramatically better. My supposition there is that maybe because it understands logic of coding, it now kind of applies that to language and just shit got better. So doing things like have it write a haiku or write it in iambic pentameter like Shakespeare did, and it just does, or like rhyme these words, or it's just mind blowing. What is happening with my hair? It's just, yeah, I don't know what to tell you people. Should I have them write prompts? Yes, absolutely. So you're asking about the adults. Yeah, so start to teach them prompts. So here's a good resource for you. That could be a lot of fun too. Go to, is it prompts.chat? I think it is. Prompts.chat. So go here, and it's awesome ChatGPT prompts. And then the top of this teaches you about writing effective prompts. There's a free ebook. There's all sorts of stuff. But what this thing is it's a long list of prompts that you can literally copy and paste. And what these prompts do is they tell ChatGPT to act like a certain kind of expert, for lack of a better term. So act as a travel guide, act as an advertiser, act as a storyteller, act as a football commentator, act as a stand-up comedian. It writes shitty jokes, in my opinion, but that'll get better. Act as a motivational coach, right? So what you can explore with them is, as you give ChatGPT different contexts, as you say, I only want you to talk like Yoda, it will only talk like Yoda. In fact, I made a bot on Poe.com called I Am Yoda. So if you go to Poe.com/I Am Yoda, it's a Yoda bot that just talks like Yoda. I also made one called I Am Shakespeare. I made one called, what have I done? Emily Dickinson. I Am Steve Jobs. I Am Maya Angelou. I Am Mary Shelley. I Am Virginia Woolf. Or not I Am Virginia Woolf, just Virginia Woolf. I Am Poe, as in Edgar Allan Poe. I Am Mark Twain. So that's a way you can start playing with them. But yeah, I would definitely have them start creating prompts. The other thing I would have them do is use ChatGPT to critique itself. So when it gives an answer, this is a hack that people have started talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's pretty cool. You say, review this answer, critique it. What do you think of it? How would you improve it? And then it will improve its own answer. It will critique itself and improve its own answer. So I would say just engage, get them, if it's a group that has access to computers and laptops, have them bring their laptops and maybe show an example or two on screen and then turn people loose. If you're at a library, put people in pairs and have them pair up and play. I feel so dumb not knowing what to ask you or ChatGPT. You're not dumb at all. Thank you for saying that, because this is really intimidating stuff. It's not hard, but when you have a tool that can essentially do anything, it's like, well, where do I start? What do I do? So here's where you start, I think. Figure out a problem you've got. You want to better understand your insurance policy. Well, copy and paste little chunks of your insurance policy into ChatGPT and explain this to me like like a human being would explain it to me, or create a meal plan, or have it help you write a book, or have it help you rewrite a book, or have it help you turn what you thought was a comedy but turned into a drama to turn it back into a comedy. There's all sorts of things you can do, but start with the problem first and then see how ChatGPT can help you do that. Another way you could do it is just say, go to something like I just said, like prompts.chat, and just learn from other people what they're doing and just copy them, just mimic them. That's when I first learned when I started agency.com in the mid 90s with building some of the early websites. A lot of what we did was we went and looked at other websites that we liked. We're like, oh, that's cool. And we would go view source and we would look at what they did. And we're like, oh, that's how they did that. And then we would go play with that. So there's no shame in stealing. Like just go see how people are prompting stuff and what they're doing. And if it interests you, then run down that rabbit hole. So don't feel dumb at all. It is totally overwhelming and intimidating. I feel overwhelmed every day with this stuff because, honest to God, if I take off, so I had this speaking gig on Monday, and So I had a speaking gig on Monday, then they screwed up the flight and I had to stay overnight. So I basically blew Monday and Tuesday. So I was kind of away from all this AI stuff for 2 days. And what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. And I had a board meeting today. And so I made one TikTok video today, but I've been away. Like I was like, what happened? What did I miss? Like this stuff is coming so fast that it's very easy to get overwhelmed. Raise his hand, very bitter. Bitter? You betcha. Us Gen Xers got to stick together. The way you describe the exploration of GPT describes my process to the T. I feel validated. Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Dig in. Think of it more like a conversation than a tool. How do you spell Claude connected to Poe and Anthropic? Yeah. Well, here, let me see if I can zoom this in. Oops. That's too big. This is their chat model. GPT-4 is GPT-4. Claude Plus is is Anthropic's basic model. Claude Instant 100K is their big 75,000 word. With that model at Poe.com, you can copy and paste in 75,000 words into your chat window and ask it a question about it. So you could literally take the transcript of a novel and tell it to reverse engineer the outline for you, and then to improve the outline, and then to rewrite the novel, based on the new outline. So that's how you spell Claude. And Claude Instant I think this is just a fast one. Claude Plus, so think of it like this. Claude Instant is like ChatGPT level quality. It's really fast though. Claude Plus is like GPT-4, and then Claude Instant 100K is like GPT 3.5, but you can put 75,000 words in it. I'm a big fan of Anthropics, which is the Claude people. I think there are a bunch of ex-OpenAI people that invented GPT-3, and they went off and said, we think we can do this better. And they're doing some really interesting stuff over there, so I'd pay attention to them. All right, how are you displaying your screen? So when you start your live, you can. There's one of the options is dual cameras, and so basically it's got a camera pointing at me and a camera pointing forward, and I just have my laptop folded open. That's why my keyboard's right here. So see, that's just my hand. This is like virtual reality. Like I fly through the phone and I show up over here. Huh? It's just two cameras. That's all. How are we supposed to keep track of them? Of all the tools, you can't. So go to futurepedia.io. They keep track of all the tools. What I do, I stop trying to keep track of them. If I have a specific problem to solve and I don't know what tool to use, then I'll seek something out. I primarily use GPT-4. Now that it's connected to the internet, I'll do that. I have been playing with the plugins, and then I use Midjourney, and I use a little bit of Stable Diffusion, but not so much anymore. I pay for Midjourney. I pay for ChatGPT. And I just try to do my work within those tools. And then I try to keep aware of all the other stuff happening. But it's impossible to keep track of everything. It's really good at planning for hard conversations. That's great. Yeah, it is. It is surprisingly. Let's not call it empathetic. It doesn't have feelings. It is better at empathetic communication than a lot of humans are. They just did a test with patients that interacted with real doctors and interacted with ChatGPT doctors, or they didn't know whether they were talking to ChatGPT or a doctor. The patients overwhelmingly preferred ChatGPT, said they were more competent. It was more competent and more empathetic. So yeah, it's actually very good at hard conversations. Am I concerned about AI becoming smarter than humans and taking control of the world? I can tell you right now that ChatGPT is significantly smarter than I am. It is way more capable. I think that what ChatGPT represents is what I'm calling knowledge on demand. I think Google was information on demand, right? You put in a search term, it gives you a bunch of shit, a bunch of information. It's then up to you as the human to go sift through that shit and read it and figure out if any of that is relevant to stick in your big brain. ChatGPT, if I want to know about the military theory of the Mesopotamian War and write a poem about that, I can do that in 30 seconds. Would I want to? I don't know. But I already think that GPT-4 and with plugins, I already think that, from an individual basis, these tools are way more capable. They've got a lot of problems. It hallucinates, it lies, it's not accurate. But holy crap, is it capable? The taking over the world thing is interesting. I think that we will find ways to stop that. But part of what's happened in the past 3 months is that because Meta's core language model leaked and the developer community now has it, it's just out there everywhere. There's all these open source models that were based on Llama that came from Meta. That kind of the cat's out of the bag or the horse is out of the barn. So it's possible that bad actors are going to do bad shit with it. My hope is that the good actors are going to, they've also got equally, if not more powerful tools than the bad guys. And so hopefully they will counterbalance one another. I think it's a concern. I think that's why Sam Altman was in front of Congress last week. Are there classes you recommend? There's so many. I would say that it is. I don't want to discourage you from taking classes, but no one right now is an expert. If anyone is positioning themselves as an expert or an expert prompt writer, it's all bullshit. November 30th, 2022 is when this thing launched. It's not that old. It's 6 months old. So if you're telling me that someone, if they're like, I'm a 5-year expert in prompt crafting, it's possible they were using GPT-2 and GPT-3 for the past, 3 or 4 years. But there's no classes right now that I think have any credibility because they were likely written by ChatGPT. They were likely tossed together over a weekend. And I think you'll learn more just saying, I'm going to go solve a problem with ChatGPT. Like I would say, just pick a thorny problem in your life or at work. Figure out your back taxes. Like have it help you sort through through your spreadsheets. Have it help you write a novel. Have it help you, I don't know, solve some deep mystery you've been trying to figure out for years. And just, I don't know. I'd go watch YouTube videos. I think, I don't know. I'm just a fan of, I'm a fan of using it as the learning. Just get curious and exploratory. You'll learn more in doing a single project. Here's maybe a thing to do. Rather than think about how do I teach myself ChatGPT, start talking to people about, I'm learning this thing called ChatGPT, and it seems like it does a lot of cool shit. Do you have any projects that you're trying to, you need help with or you're trying to solve? Find someone else who's got a problem and volunteer to solve it for them for free in exchange for, like, you want to learn ChatGPT. So, what they have to do is be willing to say, yeah, go solve my problem. And then what you can say is, because this is an experiment, it may not work. So I may come back and say, I can't solve this. What will likely happen is you will likely solve it, and you'll likely solve it a lot quicker than you thought you would. I think doing something like that, you'll learn more about prompt crafting and ChatGPT and how these models work and what they are, than you will any other way. AI won't take your job, people using it well. Yeah, that's that Paul Reitzer quote. It's a great one. I'm more and more programming my GPT inputs so I get the Midjourney guy. Yeah, what and I think this is going to shift. So there's a cool plugin. Let me show you this cool plugin. There's a cool plugin for ChatGPT. So I'll show you how plugins work here, if I can get this to focus. So if you're in ChatGPT Plus, God damn this thing. Why will this not focus? Why won't it focus, people? Focus, people. Focus. All right. So to turn on plugins, if you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you've got access to plugins. So you go to your settings. I know it's out of focus still, but whatever. And then you go to beta features, the second link here, and then you enable web browsing and plugins. So that's how you enable them. And then once you're here, you go to ChatGPT 4 and you go to plugins, the little last thing here, and that gives you a little drop-down menu. And you've got, plugin. These are the plugins I've got installed, and there's a plugin store. So I'm going to turn off Kayak, and I'm going to turn on Prompt Perfect. So what Prompt Perfect does, this is talking to the using language as a programming language. So I can type in here. What do I want to type in? I want to think of a bad prompt. Make me a story about a cute monkey running through town. All right, so very generic. I mean, it's not super generic, but it's generic enough. And so I put hang on. I gotta reload ChatGPT. Sorry about this. This is, if it doesn't have a new session, it screws up. So the thing I did wrong there was you've got to type, for this plugin, you type in perfect is the first word, perfect. And then I say, make a story about a monkey running through town. And so I hit return. Because I put perfect, error communicating with the plugin service. Oh, this. Okay, so here's a good lesson. All this stuff is very, very new, and a lot of it is just tossed together. So I have a feeling that Prompt Perfect is down. Let me try another plugin and see if it's all plugins or if Prompt Perfect is just shitting the bed right now. Oh yeah, in fact, looky here. To the right of Prompt Perfect, it's like a shield with a line through it. That must mean it's unverified or something like that. So yeah, all right, that didn't work. Anyway, what I was trying to show you there is what Prompt Perfect does. Is it takes a crappy prompt and it will rewrite it in just, with more words. So one of the things that you can do with prompting is you can you start to figure out how you can expand it and how you can layer prompts and how you can, do one prompt to get part of your answer and then take that part of your answer and use another prompt to refine it. And yeah, it is cognitively very similar to coding, but you're using your natural language rather than code. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Have I seen the super prompt on Discord? I've heard of it. I think I saw it somewhere, but I don't know what that is. Let me go look it up. Super prompt Discord. Why did it? What is going on? Why can I not put a space there? There we go. Oh, God damn it. I can't find it. I heard of it. I don't know what it is. Where did I find that list of prompts? At prompts.chat. So if I go to prompts.chat, it takes big, long. I assume this is an ever-growing list of prompts. Almost all of these are act as a something. Act as a screenwriter, act as a novelist, act as a math teacher, act as a UX developer, act as an etymologist, act as a magician. Let me actually scroll way down here and see if it keeps it up. Yeah. There are lots of different ways. I'd say start watching TikToks. Rachel Woods is really good. Her site is called AI Exchange, or her company is called AI Exchange. She's really good. There's some people on YouTube. I'd say just go on YouTube and start looking up prompting. Just watch YouTube videos and see if find someone that does something interesting. Why do I pay for ChatGPT? So I pay for it because if you pay for ChatGPT, it gives you access to GPT-4. It also gives you early access to the new stuff that they're building, right? So plugins and web browsing, ChatGPT connected to the internet. Oh, super prompt is you're essentially an expert at everything. That's really interesting. I don't know. I find that ChatGPT tends to get better when I narrow its focus rather than expand it. But that's kind of interesting. I lost my place in my little questions here, so I'm just kind of scrolling back a little bit. Let's see. Okay, here we are. Gen X is not getting older there. No, we're not. How are you displaying your screen too? Okay, I did that one. It's really okay. I'm back to sort of where I was. Prompt engineering. Sorry about this. What'd you do tonight? I watched some old man trying to find his place in a bunch of questions that his eyes are too weak to read. I use ChatGPT to write emails to my students' parents, but need to edit because its writing is too formal. So here's the thing you can do. If you're having it write an email and its writing is too formal, critique it. Tell it, hey, that's too formal. Rewrite it in a more conversational tone. Or a thing that you could do is take one of your edited emails and put that in at the top and say, based on this email, paste in your email that has the perfect tone. It's written exactly as you want it written. And then say, based on that email format and tone, write an email to this parent talking about how little Jimmy's a butthole and needs to get his shit together in class, or whatever your message is. And then based on, it's really good at learning from something that you give it like that. So if it gives you crappy things, don't think of it like this. Rather than going, oh, it gave me a crappy email, that sucks, I got to do more work. Think of it like you've got a really smart intern that's not good at a lot of stuff. So have it write an email. If it's a crappy email, say, write a better email. Fix it this way, fix it that way. Use bigger words, use smaller words. Make it shorter, make it longer. And it will. It'll, and you'll get better in critiquing it. I don't know how you say your name. KV Runo. Khan Academy. If you haven't checked out Khan Academy, it's an educational site for students, but they just launched this thing called Conmigo, which is, so Khan Academy was given access to GPT-4 back in August. So they have been writing prompts for Conmigo for 7 months. They just released it. It's like a Socratic teacher that interacts with the content of Khan Academy And if someone gets stuck on a problem, it won't just give them the answer. Even if you say, give me the answer, it will query you back and forth, figure out what part of the problem you don't understand, and then teach it to you and give you examples. It's quite remarkable. The Blockchain Council has several courses. Okay, if there's good courses out there, great. I don't know any courses. I'm not a fan of them, certainly this early in the business, because I just think everything's changing so fast. It doesn't make any sense to me to pay for it. And if they're free, cool. Go take free courses. I'm still a fan of, just splat shit against the wall and see what sticks. Here's a song inspired by Nasser's of War with a pug-themed twist. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool prompt. I think that's a prompt. I'm having issues signing up for ChatGPT. If you're not at that address, chat.openai.com, that's the official ChatGPT site. If you're on anything else, if you're on an app that says it's ChatGPT, chances are it's not, unless it's from OpenAI. So that could be the issue. I've used it for a lot of small projects at work, and it's been fun and saved me some time. Yeah, it writes, 100 times faster than you can write, but, it's sort of at 10% quality in 10 seconds. And then you go back and forth a bunch of times. So I would say it kind of increases my productivity about 10x to get to 80%. And then the last 20%, sometimes that takes a long time. Sometimes that's really fast. It can play Dungeon Master. Someone asked Dungeon Master. You can just tell it to be a Dungeon Master. And in fact, I think it will ask you what edition you want to play. And then it will be a Dungeon Master from that edition. It's pretty remarkable. All right. I think we're out of questions. If you have any questions, pop a question in there. I think I answered everyone's. If I didn't, I probably got lost along the way. ChatGPT said the world will end in 7 months. I don't know. There were a couple of people who said it was going to end yesterday. I don't know. So ChatGPT also hallucinates and just makes shit up. Right? So it says the world's going to end. I don't think it knows anything. Let's see. All right. Listen, I'm a little crispy and tired. I had a board meeting today. So I am going to step on out of here. Comment on ChatGPT bias. Okay, I'll do that. This will be the last one, and then I'll go. Okay, so bias is really interesting. I think there's a naive thought that there's a perfect unbiased model out there. There just isn't. Everyone's got bias. So a model that I look at and think is unbiased, you'll look at and go, oh, it's completely biased, right? So there is no perfect model. That's point one. Point two, what data they train the core model on, if it's biased, right? If it's got more of this than that, then it just may have more of this than that in it. So there's an issue there. The way OpenAI trains their models is through what's called human reinforcement learning. So you interact with ChatGPT, it gives you an answer, and then they paid people, not much money, a lot of people, not much money, 15 or 20 bucks an hour for months to give it feedback. Nope, that's not a good answer. That's not a good answer. That's a good answer, right? So every time a human being says that's not a good answer, that is a good answer, they're introducing bias. Just like, and bias is not necessarily like a pejorative. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just based on my worldview. I'm going to look at an answer and think it's awesome, and someone else is going to look at an answer and think it's total fucking shit. Right? So if I'm the one that got to say, yeah, that's good, then I'm biasing it in my direction, right? A lot of the people that did the training were in San Francisco, which is a little more left-leaning than, say, not San Francisco. So part of the bad rap is a bunch of, libtards in San Francisco did the training. So, it's a left-leaning, it's left-leaning bias. It's, so there may be some truth to that. Now, how do you combat that? Well, you first of all raise awareness about it. So you could start to say, okay, well, let's find some more balance. Let's train it in as balanced a way as we can. So long as you're involving humans in that process, I think it's going to continue to be biased. The reason that I like Anthropic, the company behind Claude and Claude 100K and Claude Instant and whatever other models there are, Claude Plus, they've got a model called the constitutional learning model. And so instead of humans saying this is good, that's good, they've written a constitution. And the constitution is like, don't cause harm, increase prosperity, humans over machines, whatever. I forget what their constitution is. You can go see it. And when it generates an answer, it's actually comparing that answer against the Constitution. So it's doing its reinforcement learning against a set of rules that are transparent and just sitting out there for everyone to see. Like I said, someone may look at the Constitution they wrote and go, well, I think that's biased. I think the rules should be these 5 rules instead of those 5 rules. And so I think what we'll see in the future is that there will be lots of different models that have different flavors, right? And you might have one that's super conservative. You might have one that's super liberal. You might have one that's super academic. You might have one that's super creative.